The first group has tried, and we just have a little addition to what they have. So the first question, the first one concerning how can community-based smallholder farmers be encouraged to start planting new trees? What we have here is increased sensitization on then you have to invest in demonstration plots and model farms in training farmers. Then the public sector, where the public sector comes in is they have to decentralize the research center so that they are spread all over the country and to increase funds allocated to government agencies responsible for research. Now for the question 1B, how can the private sector through commercial farmers realistically engage communities to co-manage the cashew farms? So what the private sector does is to intensify efforts in farmer training, signing off-taker agreements for specified quality so that the farmers know what they want. The private sector dictates this is what we want, and then the farmers knows, okay, this is what we are going to give you. And is this advisable? Yes. What are the risks? The risk in this commandment thing is side selling. We know farmers side sell a lot. Then climate change is something we have no control over. Then default also on the part of the farmers. Anything can happen. And then insecurity. The local communities and the business, there can be clashes. Anything can happen. We know human nature. And then price volatility. Price is not stable because of so many variables. But what the most important thing is, the businesses need to stick to the agreement so that the farmers don't feel cheated. Then mitigation. How do we mitigate against this? We are talking about insurance. That comes in. Then agreement with farmers should be based on buyback. The price that is available at that moment is what the businesses it should be included in the agreement so that the farmers don't feel cheated. So that is why the agreement with farmers should be based on buyback. Then price discount for products that are supplied to the farmers that do not, and also price discount for products that do not meet specific quality. So that next time the farmer should know that if I live up to responsibility, definitely will be paid full for whatever we've produced. Then question C, with only a small number of nursery operators currently present in Nigeria, how can the private and public sector collaborate to increase the need and demand for seedlings and the planting of new plantations? This is closely linked to the first question. We have to demonstrate value proposition for the use of seedlings. The farmer should know the importance of using these new seedlings, because by the time they use the new seedlings, they see that they get better value for it. It is not just about the businesses. It is also about the farmers. So it should be a win-win situation. So then we have, through NGO interventions, increase in research activities and private sector investment, because that is a different aspect of the value chain. We are talking about multiplication of seedlings. So we need more private investors in that particular part of the value chain. And that way, we find out why we don't even have enough seeds at the moment. We are talking about real good seeds. So we need more people to invest in this particular area, and that way, we'll be able to have enough seeds to go around for everybody to use. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much for your findings and your knowledge and wisdom. It's very much appreciated. We know it was a lot of hard work. Okay, so next up we have supply chain and trade, right? Who's representing? Who's doing the presentation? Miss Kike. Okay. Okay, sure, of course. That would be great. Or do you need a few more minutes and I move on to another one? Mm-hmm. No, it's going to be one. guys really, I mean, this is some serious work. Scribbling away. Okay, great. Ooh, maybe someone needs to stand and hold this. Yeah. Okay. All right. Who's starting? Please introduce yourself.
So to start with question A for the logistics and supply questions, we have Ahk from Fairfood. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon once more. Please appreciate what we are doing here. It is the betterment of our dear country, and we must say kudos to GIZ for making this particular program a success. I have the first question here in logistics and supply chain. And the first question is, what mode of transportation are available in Nigeria, and which best suits the commodities such as cashew? What other infrastructure is available, and how can it be used? Yeah, cashew is transported not in open, but in a closed container or box, or an airy bag like a jute bag. But mode of transportation that best we identified as the best way for cashew range from shipping line to air freight to rail and to road. But in all these particular means of transportation, all of them have pros and cons, advantage and disadvantage. Like, let's start with the shipping. We have, if you are shipping abroad, or if you are shipping in African country, neighboring African country, we identify using shipping line if you are shipping in large volume from 40 metric tons, or 40 tons to above. You can use shipping line, but shipping line have its own problem. The advantage of using it is when you are exporting in large volume. But the time it takes for you to bring your product to the ship, to the destination, is very, very discouraging. Discouraging in many ways. It's discouraging because there are many procedures you have to follow to make it function. Apart from this particular problems that the shipping line face, there is also a problem that because of the time it takes from Nigeria to reach the destination, that the product will never retain its quality anymore. So we identify that as a problem using shipping line. Then air freight is when you use all these Lufthansa, Air France, Ethiopian Airline, and other air commercials. It is faster. It will take 2-3 days for your product to reach the destination, thereby maintaining the high quality of the product. But it have also his disadvantage. The disadvantage is it is too costly, and you cannot be able to ship a big volume of cashew using air freight. In cashew production, after producing cashew, you spend not less than 2/3 of the money you use in processing and payment of the salary of the worker to just do air freight. And also in shipping line, if you don't have a big quantity of volume, it's also very, very expensive. We also identify road network, rail, way billing, and other things. All of them have pros and cons. Road would have been a very marvelous way of doing it, but you people can bear witness how our road looks this way these days. Rail is also a very good transport system, but it's limited. It is not all over the country. Yeah, there are many women that travel from Enugu to Jigawa also to get cashews. Yeah, they also, you can use it as a way bill. I believe that when all this problem is tackled, Nigeria will be in the best forefront of producing, exporting, and earning a high income in cashew production.
Thank you. And B says how to increase the use of waterway transportation with the consideration of commodities type and region and ports infrastructure available. And we talked about the national trade portal is existing, but is not functional. In the national trade portal, we have the custom, the NAFDAC, the port heads authority, quarantine, and all of that. And all of them have their different websites. So to access the portal is even an issue, is a big problem. And because you cannot access the portal to be able to do your registrations and certifications, you are compelled to go through the different agencies individually. You take time and you spend money. At a point, because you are desperate to do your export, you compromise, and so you spend money, which will also affect your profit margin. And then we talked about promotion of processed cashew exports. We say we want to discourage exportation of raw cashew nuts because we are exporting all our labors. When we export all the raw cashew nuts, we are exporting everything, including the labor. And there are value chains involved in production, so let the labor force remain with us. Thank you very much. The use of
Wow. All right, so basically mine is just how do we innovate to improve the efficiency of logistics and supply chain?